Hello, my name is Tara Ingram, and I wanted to come to you today to share some tips and suggestions on how to take Triplex Combo. You should have received a chart that has 6 different stages on it, and this is the exact same chart that I use that has worked for me. I started Plexus in January and have lost 44 pounds. And I really attribute that to being consistent with taking the products. And so that's what I'm going to share some tips and really kind of what worked best for me. You'll notice the very first stage tells you to just take Slim. Now, each stage can last anywhere from a couple days to a couple weeks. It really just depends on your body. The average person will stay in each of the stages for about 3 days. So stage 1 is just taking Slim. Slim is the pink drink. Slim is this packet right here. You will mix it with about 8 to 10 ounces of water, so it'll end up looking just like this. And I take mine first thing in the morning. So as soon as I wake up in the morning before my breakfast, I'm drinking my Slim. And I'm not sipping on it, I'm just going ahead and drinking it. And then about 30 minutes later, I'm having my breakfast. And so breakfast is something small, maybe an egg, half of an English muffin, maybe an avocado. Something to really get my metabolism going though. It's very, very important to not skip breakfast. You'll notice as you look at the next stage, stage 2, is when you will begin to take BioCleanse. Now stage 1 doesn't have you taking any BioCleanse. Stage 2 has you taking just one about 30 minutes before lunch. You'll notice as you look at the future stages, you'll go from 1 BioCleanse 30 minutes before lunch to 2 before lunch, and then eventually to 2 before dinner. Again, very important that you're taking this on an empty stomach. Make sure that you try not to skip this because this is what helps to get our bodies clean and to really get rid of all that bad bacteria. So you'll take these again as you move through the stages, anywhere from 1 to 2 before lunch and before dinner. And then the last product of Triplex is our ProBio 5. And you'll begin to take this again in stage 2. You'll take just one. And as you move through the stages, you'll notice that it takes you all the way up to taking 4 ProBio 5s. This is something that you are going to take right before bedtime. Best again on an empty stomach. Now, the bottle is meant for you to take 2 each evening. So if you are wanting to move through the stages to take 3 and 4, you definitely can. Just know that you're going to end up having to invest in another bottle. You don't have to. So you can still move into stage 5 and stage 6. Staying the same with your Slim, continuing to increase your BioCleanse, and then just sticking to 2 of the ProBio 5. Totally up to you. Now, the other thing that you want to make sure that you are monitoring are your eating habits, and nothing too crazy. The main thing that you want to do is make sure that you're eating throughout the day. That's the biggest thing. So, you're having breakfast about 30 minutes or so after Slim. You should then be having a morning snack. You should be eating about every 3 hours or so. And that morning snack can be fruit, it can be veggies, maybe some nuts, and I'm not talking about the honey roasted, but just plain, almonds are great for you. And then lunch, make lunch something sensible. Try not to eat out. My husband and I are very big on planning our meals. So on the weekends, we will plan what we're going to be eating for the rest of the week. And this way we can make sure that for dinner, we're making extra. So this way we have something to bring with us to work and we're not tempted to go out and eat something that we really shouldn't be. So, our meals, lunch and dinner, consists of grilled chicken, fish. We try to stay away from carbs at dinner, but sometimes for lunch we're having maybe some roasted potatoes, some brown rice. Riced cauliflower is great. I've learned to love that. You can do so much with it. Spaghetti squash is also something that's great. It's a great substitute if you're kind of wanting that pasta, kind of mentally lets you think that you're having that. But you can get creative. Pinterest has been my best friend. I go on and just search for healthy recipes, crock pot recipes. I have 2 little ones and also work a full-time job. So it's very, very hard to make sure that we are planning, but you have to kind of make those small sacrifices to ensure that you're eating at home so you know what you're putting in that food. So lunch and dinner, again, search online, look at some fun creative recipes, but healthy recipes. And then in the afternoon, make sure that you're snacking again. So between lunch and dinner, you should be having an afternoon snack. And that really kind of the same thing that you had for the morning. So if I have a fruit for my morning snack, I typically have a vegetable in the afternoon. So maybe some carrots or celery or tomatoes, something like that. But you want to make sure that you're eating throughout the day. And that's really Plexus or no Plexus. The other thing that's super important is your water intake. And that is sometimes hard for people, but so important and so crucial to your success when it does come to being healthy. And so the rule of thumb is whatever your body weight is divided by 2. And that's the number of ounces that you should be drinking throughout the day. So I will tell you that one of the things that helped me is I have a Yeti, or you can go to Walmart and get the cheap version, which is actually what I have, the Ozark, and you can get a 30-ounce one. And I go off of that. Instead of doing the bottles and going through 10 bottles a day, I end up having the Ozark and I just fill it. And so this way I'm able to easily monitor how much water, and at work it's just easier. I can't bring all of those bottles to work. And then if I didn't have them, then I'm not drinking my water. So just a tip, something that worked for me and that really helped me with my water intake. The other thing is eating at night. Try, if you can, to not eat dinner past 7:30 if you can. And the reason being is that you really want to make sure that you're going to bed on an empty stomach. And it's also going to help your ProBio 5 really do the trick and really work the way that it's supposed to when you take that right before bedtime. The last thing that I want to talk to you guys about is detox. And detox is super important that you are aware of what it is and what that means for you. But detox is good. Detox tells you that your body is actually absorbing those good nutrients that you're putting into it. Now, with that being said, even though it's good, sometimes it's not as pleasant when we're experiencing it. Some detox symptoms could be headaches, possible fatigue, even though you are going to get sustained energy from Slim. You may experience some fatigue. You may experience some bloating. Know that it will go away. It's just temporary. And it impacts everybody different. Some people never experience detox symptoms. Some people do. Some people experience it later on in their taking of the product. Some people experience it earlier on. I can tell you from personal experience, mine came about a couple weeks, probably about 2 to 3 weeks in to taking my products, and I got headaches. And they were very small. But I just made sure that I increased my water intake, and after a few days, they were completely gone. And I can tell you, as somebody that used to take Excedrin like candy before Plexus, I don't have to take any type of headache medicine anymore because of what I'm putting into my body and all that water that I'm drinking as well. So I always want to make sure that I share that with you because you don't want to be alarmed if those happen. And sometimes, again, they are a little bit unpleasant or uncomfortable, and it's better for you to know in advance. So if that happens, you're already prepared. But definitely feel free to reach out to me, or if you have another sponsor besides myself, you can definitely reach out to them and they can answer any questions that you have. But I know that you are going to love Triplex as much as I have. And just some tips. Remember, everybody's body is different. It's going to take everybody different time to see results. Just stay consistent with taking the products, even if it means setting those alarms in your phone to remind you to take your Bio Cleanse or to take your ProBio 5. Anything that you have to do to be consistent is super, super important and really going to help with your success of the products. But I wish you nothing but luck. You are going to do awesome, and I look forward to hearing about all of your great success. Bye.